you can start the session. Thank
Okay,
you.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
So good morning, Vidya ma'am.
Good morning, Vidya ma'am.
Ma'am, let's start the session.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. You may start.
Okay,
Good
thank
morning, children.
you. So good morning, one and all.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning. Back again with a new session. So shall we start today's session?
Yes, miss.
Are you ready? Yes. So hope you are remembering the topic which we talked about in the last day. So started about different type of industries. We have learned about different classification of industries. Hope you people are learn everything about classification. How can we classify industries? And it should be classified on the basis of a rule, on the basis of ownership, on the basis of capital investment, on the basis of raw materials used, on the basis of weight and based upon the finished products. Okay, and after we started about learning each industries based upon agro-based and mineral-based industries. First, we started about agro-based industries, among those textile industry, right, children? So in this textile industry, we have learned some of the points, very important points related to cotton textile, because the question was, yeah, cotton textile industries occupies a unique position in Indian economy. We have learned the reason also. Do you remember why should this cotton textile industries occupies a unique position in Indian economy? Do you remember why cotton textile industries occupies a unique position in Indian economy? Because, children, do you remember? Because it contributes significantly to the national economy. Clear? So it is contributed to industrial production about 14%, and it create employment generation. Almost 35 million persons got employment in this textile industry itself, and also generate what foreign exchange. It helped to increase foreign exchange earnings, that is about 24.6%. And last but not the least one is contribution made to GDP. So what was the contribution to GDP by this textile industries? About 4% towards GDP. And after we just started about, yes, cotton textiles. Okay, cotton textile industry. We just started to learn about what are the characteristics or importance of cotton textile industry. So here we have to learn about the importance of cotton textile industries, and also learn about what are the challenges facing cotton textile industries even in the present scenario. Okay, so we can once more we can continue the same cotton textile industries. Cotton textile industries. Okay, so cotton textile industries. So in ancient time, this cotton textiles were produced with hand spinning and hand weaving technique. And after 18th century, power looms came into use. All these points have learned in the last day. In ancient times, cotton textile industries was made or with, produced with hand spinning and hand weaving techniques. After 18th century, power looms. Power loom means the machinery is very used for production. But one thing was the traditional industries was suffered a setback during the colonial period. That we know the reason why the textile industries was suffered a lot during the time of colonial or during the time of Britishers, because they couldn't compete with the machine-made goods imported from Britain. All these things has learned in our earlier classes. Okay, so during the British time, the traditional industries, not only the cotton textile, all the handicraft industries were suffered a setback because they couldn't compete. The Britishers import all machine-made clothes from England or all machine-made goods from England to India, and they just export all the handmade or handicraft products from India to Britain. So this was a major reason for setback during the colonial period. Okay, and we know that the first successful mill was established in Mumbai. Okay, yeah, very good. Mumbai. Do you remember the year? In which year the first cotton textile mill was established?
1854.
Yeah, very good. 1854. Okay, and the latest statistic shows that as on 30th November 2011, okay, the latest study shows as on 30th November 2011, there were 1946. It is easy to remember, that is 1946 cotton and human-made fiber mills were concentrated in India. So what is the total number of textile mills in India as on 30th November 2011? 1946 cotton and human-made fiber textile mills in India. So don't forget the number. So how many cotton textile industries were established in India? 1946 is the latest estimation. As on 30th November 2011, there were 1946 cotton and human-made textile mills in India. Okay. Okay. So, and among this 80% of, okay, among all this 90, among this 80% of these are controlled by, or in all this were under the control of private sector. Okay. Among this 80% of these are in the private sector, and the rest only were controlled by public and cooperative sector. Clear, children? So 80% of the textile mill was controlled, or these are under the control of private sector. The rest, that is only 20%, is under the leadership of government and cooperative sector. So see the children, so 3 points. The first mill was established in Mumbai in 1854. As on 30th November 2011, there were 1946 cotton and human-made textile mills in our country. Among those, 80% of this mill were run by private sector. Rest is only controlled or under the leadership of government and other cooperative sectors. Okay, apart from these are the largest cotton textile mills. The details is given about the largest cotton textiles. Apart from this, thousands of small scale industries. Okay, apart from this, thousands of small factories run with 4 to 10 looms. Looms means machines. Okay, loom means the machine used for spinning and weaving. So all this details is given about the largest cotton textile industries in case of largest cotton textile industries. Apart from this, there are several thousands of small scale industries or thousands of small factories also run with 4 to 10 looms. This were not included in this account. It is only counted about the largest textile industry. So you can add one more point. Apart from these, there are thousands of small factories are running. Small factories with 4 to 10 looms. Okay, 4 to 10 looms. Clear? Another naughty point. So first learn Mumbai 1854, 30th November 2011, 1946, 80% run by private sector. Rest was only controlled by public and cooperative sector. And also there are small factories where run with 4 to 10 looms. Okay, another important point related to this cotton textile industries was in the early years, that we people know that in the beginning of the lesson itself, I have told you that in the early years, most of the cotton textile mills were concentrated in. Do you remember in which state most of the cotton textile mills were concentrated? In the early years, the cotton textile industry.
Maharashtra.
Very good, children. Most of the cotton textile industries were concentrated in the belt of Maharashtra. Very good, Gujarat. Okay, Maharashtra and Gujarat. There is a reason. There are some reasons behind this concentration of cotton textile industries in Maharashtra and Gujarat. So, children, it's a 3-mark question. The reasons for the concentration of cotton textile mills in Maharashtra and Gujarat. Okay, so write the point in the early years. In the early years, the cotton textile, in the early years, the cotton textile industry was concentrated in Maharashtra and Gujarat. Okay. It's a repeated question. The reason for concentration of cotton textile industries in Maharashtra and Gujarat. 3-mark question. Children, please note. Write the reasons. Okay. 3-mark. Reasons. So write the reasons behind the concentration of textile industries in Maharashtra and Gujarat. Already we learned what are the factors responsible for location of an industry. Do you remember, children? So we have learned industrial location, where this industries were located. Yes, availability of raw material, transport, or all where the infrastructural facilities like labor, technology, power, market, all are required, or all are available in least cost. Okay, transportation, everything is included in this infrastructural facilities, where we should available all these things together at low cost. There, most of the industrials should be located. So the reason also same here, cotton textiles were concentrated more in Maharashtra and Gujarat. Write the points one by one. First is, as we know, availability of raw cotton. Okay, availability of. Second one, market. They got enough demand about this cotton, especially in Maharashtra and Gujarat. That is market. Third one, availability of transportation. Okay. Transport. labor. Availability of raw cotton, market, transport, labor. And next one, moist climate. Okay, moist climate, etc. So these are the reasons of concentration of textile industries in Maharashtra and Gujarat. So what are the reasons? Availability of raw cotton, market, transport, labor, moist climate, etc. Okay, children? So once more, I'm telling or repeating the points about this cotton textile industry. First of all, in ancient time, textile industries was produced with hand spinning and hand weaving technique. And after 18th century, power looms came into use. Our traditional industries suffered a setback during the colonial period because they couldn't compete with the international market, or they couldn't compete or with the milk-made clothes from England. And fourth point, the first successful mill was established in Mumbai in 1854. After, as on 30th November 2011, there were 1946 cotton and human-made textile mills in our country. 80% of this were controlled by private sector. The rest is only under the control of government and cooperative sectors. Okay, and apart from this, there are thousands of small factories run with 4 to 10 looms. And in the early years, this textile industries was concentrated, or this textile industries were concentrated in Maharashtra and Gujarat. Reasons: availability of raw cotton, market, transport, labor, moist climate, etc. Okay, children. Next point. Write the next point. So this industry was closely linked with agriculture. So this point has already learned in the beginning of the lesson. For a 3-mark question, agriculture and industries move hand in hand. Do you remember that question? How industries and agriculture move hand in hand, or agriculture and industries are exclusive each other. We learned the reason also, because the industries provided the machines or whatever the technologies required for the agriculture should be provided by the industry. At the same time, agriculture also providing, yeah, very good, raw materials required for the industrial sector. So it's this point is also connected, that point. This agriculture has a close link with, or this cotton textile industries was a close link with agriculture. This industry, write the point, the industry has close link with agriculture. This cotton textile industry has a close link with agriculture. Can you say why this industry, cotton textile, or how it has provided an opportunity for linking with agriculture? Because it provides a leading to farmers. So jobs created by this textile industries, especially in the agricultural sector, directly and indirectly. It's not only providing direct occupation, it's also creating a lot of indirect jobs provided by the leading to children, please wait. Is coming. Yeah, okay. So it provides a living to farmers related to cotton boll pluckers, and workers engaged in several other activities. That is, most of the workers are engaged in the processing areas. This raw cotton has to be needed some kind of transformation. Clear? So several processes are needed there. So all these processes.
Vidya ma'am, I'm muting all of them. When you want, you just tell me.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. Okay. Yeah. It provides a living to farmers, cotton boll pluckers, and workers engaged in spinning, weaving, okay, spinning, weaving, and also dyeing. Spinning, weaving, ginning, dyeing, designing. That is also very important one. Designing, packaging. So skilled laborers are needed there. Okay, so number of opportunities or number of employment has created. Tailoring, sewing, all those are the adjoining jobs created by this cotton textile industry. Several adjoining, or it is joined or linked with agriculture because it has created employment to other areas, especially to the processing areas. It also supports many other industries. It's not only creating employment even in the agricultural sector, it has creating lot of employment in other industries. This cotton textile industries is also giving a chance to work in other industries, especially the chemical dye. Dye is needed, so chemicals and dye industries has also started by the people. Okay, and after mill storing facilities are requiring. So some people should be engaged with the store facilities. And also packaging materials. We wrote here packaging. So packaging industries materials are required so that industries should be started. And also some engineering works. This factories has to be built, or some kind of engineering works are also needed. Modern machines are to be produced. So it should be joined in several other industries. So cotton textile industries creating employment even in agricultural sector, and also providing employment in other industries also. Clear, children? So once more, you have to revise the points related to textile industry. First, you have to learn in ancient time, cotton textile industries was produced with hand spinning and hand weaving technique. After 18th century, power looms came. It's a one-mark question, that's why I'm repeating. After 18th century, power looms came into use. And we know that in the traditional industries who suffered a setback during the colonial period because they couldn't compete with this machine-made cloth from England. And the first successful mill was established in Mumbai in 1854. Among this, 80% of this was run by, as on 30th November 2011, there were 1946 cotton textile industries were established, and 80% of this in private sector and rest was under public and cooperative sector. Okay, and most of the industries was concentrated in Maharashtra and Gujarat. Reason: availability of raw cotton, availability of laborers, market, and also moist climates. And After this, it provides a living to farmers. It has a close link with agriculture and also other industries. We have learned all these points here. Okay. Now, another point related to this cotton textile industries was spinning. The spinning mills were mainly concentrated or continues to be concentrated in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu. We can see number of spinning mills were run even in Tamil Nadu. Okay, so while spinning continues to be concentrated, spinning mills are running or concentrated even in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu, but the weaving spinning mills are concentrated in, still it is continuous in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu, but weaving techniques decentralized to provide decentralization. Do you know the meaning decentralization? Do you know what is decentralization? So still spinning mills continued in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu, but weaving decentralized. Yeah, very good. Division of weaving. That is transfer of control over an activity. Decentralization means transfer of control of an activity or organization to several other or several local officers. So this power has to be divided to number of other officers. It's not concentrated in a single hand. That is called a decentralization. But spinning mills are concentrated in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu. But this weaving techniques or this weaving were decentralized to provide a scope for incorporating. This was mainly decentralized to provide, or it should be incorporating traditional skills. Okay, the reason for this decentralization of weaving was for incorporating with traditional skills of and skills and designs of weaving in cotton, weaving in silk, jute sari, embroidery, etc. So this has divided to number of other units because to be incorporated with the traditional skills and designs of weaving in cotton, silk, zari, embroidery, etc. Spinning mill was concentrated in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu, but this weaving technique has not concentrated even in a single region. It has divided, or it should be divided, or the subunits started in somewhere else because it wanted to incorporate with other traditional skills and designs of weaving in cotton, silk, sari, embroidery, etc. Okay. But one thing, weaving supplies low quality raw material. So it has a world-class production in spinning, but this weaving has not getting any kind of improvement or any kind of what aid. It is not use much of high quality goods. Clear? This weaving has not getting enough or quality products. And some other important points related to this textile industry. Only important points I'm writing here. Next, India export yarn to Japan. One more question. India mainly export yarn to Japan and also export other importers of cotton goods. Yarn is mainly exported to Japan, but the cotton goods should be exported to especially to USA, UK, Russia, cotton goods cotton goods are mainly exported to USA, UK, Russia, France, other East European countries, etc. Here, and one more important point, India has the second largest, India has the second largest installed capacity. India has the second largest installed capacity of spindles in the world. So there is a question for you. India is being the second largest producer, installed capacity of spindles. That is the machines used in the world. You have to find out which is the first. Okay, which country being the first position. India has the second largest installed capacity. You have to find it out which country is being in the first position. Yeah, someone is sending the answer. So it is a question to all. Yes, children are actually sending the message. That is the answer. So others have to be find it out. And in the next class, we should say the answer for the question. Which country is which country being the first in position of using installed capacity of spindles in the world. Okay, and India is using 43.13 million spindles. Okay, 43.13 million spindles in 2011-12. 43.13 million spindles in world. Clear? So these are some of the characteristics or importance of cotton textile industries. Next, we have to learn all these are the features of cotton textile industries, but still this industry is facing some challenges. We have to learn what are the challenges faced by. It's also a 3-mark question. Okay, any of the questions should be machine. Okay, spinning machine, power looms. Clear? So this is also a 3-mark question, and you can expect any of a 3 or 5-mark question from those areas, especially from the textile industries, either cotton textile or jute textiles. And in some question papers, you can see explain the features or challenges facing sugar industry also. But these are the very important one. So next we have to learn about what are the challenges faced by cotton textile industries in India. Write the challenges. Challenges. So we know that in some of the places or regions, workers are engaged with handloom weaving or handloom techniques. Don't know the reason. Still, in some areas, the workers are engaged in the handloom weaving techniques. The reason is they are not having or they are not provided enough. Yes, low technology is the one of the reason. And if they are using power looms, but they are not provided adequate provision of electricity. Okay, so one of the challenge faced by this cotton textile industry. Yes, the question is challenges faced by cotton textile industries. Challenges faced by cotton textile industry. So first challenge is power supply is erratic, irregular. Okay, it's not provided in a regular manner. So power supply is erratic. Second one, our machinery needs to be upgraded. Okay, machinery needs to be upgraded. Still, we are using some old or inferior technologies in spinning and weaving areas. So, machinery needs to be upgraded in weaving and machinery needs to be upgraded in weaving and processing sectors. First is power supply is erratic. Second one, machinery needs to be upgraded in weaving and processing sectors. Third, low output of labor. Inefficiency of labor. This is another challenge. Inefficiency of labor or low output of labor. Yes, lack of technology, that's already written here. Machinery needs to be upgraded. Okay. Fourth one. This was the most reason. Challenges faced by cotton textile industry. This is a question. Challenges faced by cotton textile industries. Okay, this is a serious problem faced by the textile industry. What is this? Stiff competition with synthetic fiber. Due to the low cost, the people are using what synthetic fiber instead of cotton. Okay, low cost, we can get or we can have at low cost about the synthetic fiber. So the people are purchasing or we are having the synthetic fiber instead of cotton. So this cotton textile industry or the workers engaged in this textile industry was suffering a lot. Stiff competition with synthetic fiber industry. Yeah, of course, you can add that point also about the lack of availability of raw material. You can add that point also, lack of availability of raw cotton. Okay. So what are the challenges of cotton textile industry? Power supply is erratic. Machinery needs to be upgraded in weaving and processing sectors. Low output of labor. Stiff competition with synthetic fiber. So 8 mark questions are learned. 5 mark question, importance or characteristics of cotton textile industries were learned. 3 mark question, challenges or problems faced by cotton textile industries. So one of the industry is over based upon this agro base. Which one? Cotton textile. Okay. So under textile industry, 2 textile industry has to be learned. One is cotton textile. What's the second one? What is the second type of industry? Cotton textile. Second one. Yeah, good. Right. Jute textiles. After finishing this, you have to write the heading. We can move with the second textile industry, jute textiles. Only a little bit about the features of this jute textiles has to be learned. Okay. Second one, jute textiles. Okay, jute textiles. So as we know that India is, what is the position of India in the production of jute goods or jute production? Do you know? Not one. India is the second. Okay, India is the largest producer or the second largest producer of jute, first being Bangladesh. Okay, so right, India is largest producer of raw jute and jute goods, but is the largest producer of raw jute or jute goods, but stands at second place. You say the reason? India is the largest producer of raw jute and jute good, but our position is second place after Bangladesh. The reason is simple. We are not getting enough, not getting enough support from our government. Okay, so or we are not having a proper technology for producing quality goods. So that's why we are in the second position after Bangladesh. And in 2011, based upon 2011 statistics, or based upon this 2011, there were 80 jute mills. 80 jute mills in India. In 2011, there were 80 jute mills in India. And most of these are mainly concentrated or mainly located in West Bengal. Again, we are going to be learn about a 3-mark question. Jute textile industries was mainly concentrated in West Bengal, especially or mainly along the along the banks of Hooghly River. Okay, children. So it's a 3-mark question. Also note it down. 3-mark. Right? So jute textile industries are mainly located in West Bengal, mainly along the banks of Hooghly River. So write the reasons. Question is reasons for the location of jute textiles in West Bengal. Reasons for location of reasons for the location of jute textiles in West Bengal or along the banks of Hooghly River. Okay, along the banks of Hooghly River. Did you write the question? Shall we move to learn the answer? Yeah, write the reasons. Reason. First, Reason is, so the first is, of course, yeah, availability of raw material. Of course, Felix, question. Reasons for location of jute textiles or jute textile industries in West Bengal. Okay, write the first one, proximity, that is the availability of or proximity of the jute producing areas. Proximity of jute producing areas. Second one, inexpensive water transport. That's why it is located along the banks of Hooghly River. Inexpensive water transport. Adequate port facilities has established in the river banks of Hooghly River. Inexpensive water transport. And third one, it's also supported a good network of railways, roadways, and waterways to facilitate the movement of waterways to facilitate the movement of raw material to the mills. So write the reasons. First is proximity of the jute producing areas. Second one, inexpensive water transport. Third, supported a good network of railway, roadways and waterways to facilitate the movement of raw material to the mills. Okay. Write the fourth one. Fourth, abundant water for processing raw material or raw jute. So the first one, proximity of jute producing areas. Second one, inexpensive water transport. Third, supported a good network of railways, roadways and waterways to facilitate the movement of raw material to the mills. Fourth one, abundant water for processing raw jute. Okay. Write the fifth one. It's a very important 5 marks. Sorry, it's not a 3 mark question, it's a 5 mark question. Abundant water for processing raw jute. Fifth one. Yeah, of course. Cheap labor. Not only from cheap labor from West Bengal and adjoining states of, okay, cheap labor is available not only from West Bengal and adjoining states of Bihar. So the adjoining states, Bihar, Odisha and Uttar Pradesh. cheap labor or the skilled laborers are available from West Bengal and also from the adjoining states of Bihar, Odisha, and Uttar Pradesh. Okay. And one more point only. 6th point. Kolkata as a large urban center. Providing certain facilities for them. Providing certain facilities like banking, insurance, and also port facilities. Okay, port facilities also provided. Port facilities for export of jute goods. Clear, children? Clear. So these are the major reasons or the factors responsible for the location of jute textile industries, mainly in West Bengal, especially nearer to Hooghly River Basin. Okay, children. So hope you understood everything about the features of cotton textiles and jute textiles. And in this part, we have to learn, of course, what challenges facing by the jute textile. So in the next class, you have to be ready with all these questions and answers. So we should start the class with ask a question to someone. So very important question. What are the importance or characteristics of cotton textile industries and jute textile industries? And what are the challenges facing by textile industries? And in the next class, we should learn about what are the challenges facing by the jute textile industries. Okay, children, is it clear? Any doubts you have? Otherwise, we can. Thank you. Okay, it's almost a time. It's time for winding up. Vidya ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, children.